Overcast day. It's supposed to have monsoon rain drop at about 4 p.m., which is right about now. Maybe it won't. See how it goes, but I'm glad it's probably in the 70s versus the 80s and 90s. And I have rain gear. Hiking the Timpanogos Trail via the Timpanogos route up to the basin to take some landscape photos. Had someone duck out, as usual. People always duck out if I'm the one hosting the hike. But the reason was the alert, I guess, was issued because of possible flooding and that type of thing. Which, well, you don't have flooding here. You might have kind of have to watch your step because of waterfalls that expand, but don't want to be a lightning rod though. So I'm definitely not summiting Timpanogos. Don't want to be in the little metal shed when it becomes the Mount Timpanogos Electric Company, so to speak. But I've never summited Timp anyway, so I'm not much for peak bagging because it doesn't interest me, the fear of height, and so with that sensibility. I have kind of a theory, people who have ancestors in Europe, more mountainous regions, maybe around the Alps and what have you, kind of have that in their DNA where they don't mind the rocky kind of goat hikes. But I look at my DNA, pretty much, Mexico, Central America, Ireland, Scotland, England. That's 50% right there, my heritage. And the rest, I think, are the little pieces here and there, like Spain. Anyway, basically, areas that are all flat. So I have the fear of heights ingrained in me pretty hard, pretty significantly. And also I have another philosophy. In my opinion, I have sort of a contract with deity. I don't think that, we're kind of obligated not to, for ourselves, undue harm, of course. Going out, stepping out of your doorstep, getting on the highway is just a risk there, but those are things you have to do. But you don't have to rock climb, you don't have to rappel, you don't have to bungee jump, you don't have to jump out of an airplane for skydiving. I think all that's kind of, even motorcycles, I think it's kind of iffy. I mean, it's up to each person, but my personal existence on this earth, I think I'd be kind of breaching contracts as far as I'm concerned. I don't look down on people who do that, but I do realize that it's, even if you're careful of those type of activities, you may be may not end up with a Darwin Award because what they say, you end up not reproducing. But then I look at the other way, hey, I'm single, I might not end up reproducing anyway. So there's my own Darwin Award, I guess, for being too whatever. Anyway, just philosophizing with Rex 101 on a mountain trail. And I think that's a wrap. Probably enough of that. Now that I've offended probably over 50%, 60, 70, 80, 90% of people, which, if you figured out now, I don't really care about that. Anyway, I try not to be contentious, so I usually keep my mouth shut, especially in person, but here's some actual thoughts from me. And I guess I could go off onto conspiracies from here on, but that would be a real ramble. So I think I shall refrain. Okay, bye. So this is the lower shelf or lower basin. Oh, here comes the wind. Let me get over here. But the last stretch will kind of zigzag up this, and then you get to the upper basin where all the flowers are. Hoping the rain that comes is just a nice refreshing rain for the flowers to kind of make them look better in the photos. But it could also be a torrential rain, knock off all the blossoms. I don't think it's cold enough for hail, but high elevation, that won't happen. Anyway, I'll keep hiking here. It's just about to let loose with rain, I can tell, if it does let loose right above, overhead. I forgot, as you're zigzagging up this, there's another little basin here with yellow flowers. Looks like they're beyond their prime, past their prime. Burned up a little bit. But anyway, go up this way, up here, and eventually we'll get up through there. Well, it looks like I might have dodged the 50-50 chance of thunderstorms. There was just a rumble, and it's looking a little brighter. No actual snow, or not snow, no actual rainfall to speak of. So we'll see. Seems like that's pretty much how it happens in the desert. If they say it's going to rain, there's a pretty good chance it won't rain, and if they say it's not going to rain, it seems like there's a little greater likelihood that it will. I don't know, it just probably depends on the weather, man, but it's often wrong. It's not to say it didn't actually have a downpour somewhere around here, but scattered showers, I guess. But they issued a flood warning and all sorts of things. Anyway, I hope it's not too torrential if it does let loose around here, but it looks like on the forecast, 4 p.m. it said 40% chance of rain, and then it dropped steeply off after that. I think something like 20 or 15%. Not sure what time it is, but it's probably at least 5 p.m. by now. So, about as good as you can hope for. The overcast weather knocks it down maybe 10 degrees. So we're in the 70s. About perfect hiking weather. And if we dodge the rain, that's probably another plus. Although a slight drizzle might freshen up the flowers a little bit, but torrential downpour probably knock some of the blossoms off. So this is again probably about as good as one could hope for. Little ground squirrel. He already fled, so you don't get to see him. Oh well. So up there is where the pika has his little piles, and then we have all these pretty nice flowers right all along here. I'm sure the video doesn't do it justice, but see all the purple ones. Those are such a dark blue purple. I'll probably have to do my best to tweak it to reproduce it in person. The video reds and purples and even blues sometimes, or lavenders. Tough to reproduce. Hope you can see all the flowers up there. Then we get into the final basin, it'll be really a show. But my battery's about to run out, so anyway, we'll cut it for now. Flowers once again. The sun's out a little bit over here. Kind of see in the distance in this area, that's American Fork Twin Peaks, pretty sure. Okay, keep forging onward. Last push before we get over the lip there and into the basin. Almost there. Finally made it to the basin. It's about 6 o'clock. Started about 3:30, so it was a little over 2.5 hours. Pretty good time for 5 miles. And anyway, I'll see if I can find a really good spot with the flowers. This battery's about to die, so I'll go and cut it, leave it at that. So here we are, even though it is somewhat drier and the flowers aren't quite as good. This is the best I've seen so far, so I'm going to set up here, take a few photos, and then see what else I might find further on. So here's a nice scene. Let me go and flip it around here. The flowers are about like they are every year, so I was happy to see this. I'm pretty sure I've been in this exact spot taking photos here before. Another nice view before I head on down momentarily. I don't know if you can see kind of the rain in the background. And then you have two does off to the right of the trail, upper right.